Does anyone else think that, the alien chapter in Dead by Daylight is not faithful in a way to the source material? And I wanted to go over that and say my thoughts towards it and give my opinion on it and my takes and agree with and what I don't agree with, because there's some things I can see, yeah, that definitely should have been there, and some things I'm like, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But one big issue that I've seen is that the power is developed, right? It just isn't what it's supposed to be, right? And I don't really know what people were expecting, but I think it was some sort of like you can crawl around, which I could see being a good power in a way, but not really. Because remember, DBD uses, a button that tells you, do you want to do this when you're going to destroy, let's say, a pallet. There's an animation that plays that puts you in you can't move. It just does the animation for you. So if the Xenomorph was able to move around and go into the floors or go floors and shit, that would just, I don't know how they would do that, honestly. I don't think that power would really work, even if you try to do it in a game like DBD. I see why they didn't try it, because it wouldn't go very well. Things like the facehugger not being a part of its power, and that one I can completely understand, but I'm not quite sure how people wanted this one to be like, because they have the power to be able to just control it, because that's basically just a Twins 2.0. I think they wanted where there's like eggs around the map, and then they jump out and facehug the survivor, and in a few minutes or so, or something like that, they die, right? That could be a power for it, and then maybe there's other Xenomorphs that comes, that could have been the power. I agree with that. But I think that would get kind of boring after a while, because that's not you controlling it. It's like Nemesis Zombies almost. You just go for a survivor, and you, who's controlling the killer, just walks around with your weapon and you do nothing. I personally think that the power that they come up with is the perfect one they could have done. They implemented the be able to move faster on the map with the tunnels, and they did a faraway attack, which I think was probably on people's list for them to use the tail. It's similar to Nemesis, but who honestly cares? It's fun for the killers, not for the survivors, but we don't care about those. I think that the whole thing, to me, was just super faithful to the source material, like every single thing. Like, the skins themselves are amazing to me. All of them. The grid skin is really good, the clone one is really good, and just the queen one is amazing. I even own that one. It's just the skins in the Xenomorph collection are great, especially the newer ones that's coming out, or the new one. That one looks sick. That one looks really cool. I also think that they nailed everything in this chapter, besides not getting Sigourney Weaver, but that wasn't a guarantee either way. So they nailed, I think they just kind of nailed the chapter. And I don't really get why people are so upset, because the power, they couldn't really do a whole lot with that. I mean, they could, but they couldn't, you know what I mean? Yes, the facehuggers should have been the bigger part of it, I get that, but they're at least still in the map, they're still in there, but they should have been a bigger part. I completely agree with that. Think, right? Because if it was just the facehuggers, how fun for you playing as a killer? Just imagine this. Yeah, it might be satisfying seeing one of the survivors go down with the facehuggers, but you're not doing it, right? You're not doing it. You're just walking around, basically playing as a trapper, because he doesn't do anything except for the traps. Basically just walking around with your weapon and hitting people. You're not doing anything else. That is boring. That is actually boring. So I appreciate the fact that they put in the tunnels to make it faster and more fast-paced. If not, it would have been very boring, I'm actually very thankful for what they did with the power. Everything else, they knocked out of the park. The map, it can be, I love it because it's alien, but I can understand why people don't like it at all. I completely understand it. I know. It's not a very good map, I just like it because the alien chapter was well done. The skins justice, they did the lore justice, they did the music justice, they did everything justice, in my opinion. It is not the worst licensed chapter in this game. That is such a far reach, because you have things like Freddy Krueger in this game, which are so much worse in every single way. I don't know how people can say that Alien is the worst licensed chapter. How is it the worst one? It has the Alien with a fun, fast-paced gameplay. Isn't that fun for survivors? But that's how it is. I can't, whatever. I'm talking about the killer gameplay, not how it's for survivors. That's whatever. I don't care about that. Everything about it is good. I don't get how it can be the worst licensed chapter when you have shit like Freddy Krueger in the game. I don't really get how it can be the worst. You remember Hellraiser? That thing had an NFT in it. They were making an NFT for it, I think. Somehow, Alien's the worst one. I think it's stupid, because it isn't unfaithful or bad, by any means. But I'm actually really curious to hear what you guys think about it, because I think it's great, as you guys obviously know by now. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's actually unfaithful? Because I don't know how it could be. It has Ripley from the original film, the Xenomorph from the original film. It has cool skins from different Alien movies and designs. It has sick lobby music, a very cool looking map, and a power that is more fun than just facehuggers hugging a survivor. I don't really get how it could be the worst or bad by any means, but you know, I get how it's similar to, you know, Nemesis. A lot of killers are similar to each other if you start just nitpicking them, or it's not really a nitpick because it's like it's a tail, and the Nemesis uses a whip tail thing. It's not a tail, but it's a whip. Have you seen the artist's gameplay? It looks so similar to Pyramid Head. It's crazy, but it's not obviously the same thing. But they're kind of similar in a way, and I don't know if people complain about that, but they probably didn't. But with Alien, they're gonna complain because it's similar to Nemesis. They're always gonna reuse some of the same powers, because you can't really come up with so much new shit before it looks similar, right? Only look different and act a little different. That's how it works. And how else would they make the tail work? What else would it do? Would it just turn into a helicopter and spin around? It can't do, like, that's, the tail can only do that. What did you expect the tail to do? I don't get it. So I would love to know why you Alien haters hate the Alien deal, the Alien chapter. There's not really much wrong with it. If you look at it from the bigger if you look at it from the bigger picture, it's not really that much wrong with it, except unless you really start looking deep, and I mean deep, into that hole. Probably some small problems here and there that I just haven't seen yet, because I'm not that big of a nitpicker. If there is, my bad, I didn't know. I thank you for watching, and please tell me your opinion in the comments down below. Yada yada yada, yada yada yada, subscribe.